So metals and non-metals, and these are the four topics of metals and non-metals. First is your metal. Second is the reactivity series. Third, metals and non-metals, and fourth is the occurrence of metal. Okay, so in the first topic, which is metal, so what is metal?
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm sending it on your number.
Hmm. Ria, what is metal?
No, I don't know how to define it.
Okay, any example?
Iron.
Hmm. So the elements which form positive ions by losing electrons. Okay, what they form? They form positive ions. How? By losing electrons. So those are known as metal. Example, copper, iron, aluminium. Okay? Sodium, etc. So the elements which form positive ions by losing electron, those are known as metals. Now, what is the physical properties of metals? Metals will have a metallic luster, and they will have a bright, shiny surface, right?
They're
For
good
example,
conductors of heat.
what?
They're good conductors of heat.
Yes, it is. Metal is a good conductor of heat.
Okay.
Okay. So metallic luster are what? For example, gold, silver, platinum. They all have a shiny surface. So those are known as metallic luster, which is one of the physical property of a metal. Second physical property is hardness. Means metals are very hard, right? है ना? But
Yes.
in chemistry, there are three exceptions. For example, lithium, sodium, and potassium. These metals are very soft and we can easily cut these metals with a knife. ठीक है? What we are discussing, we were discussing this. Now, what is the physical property of a metal? Luster, metallic luster, and hardness, right? Ductility are what? Metals are generally ductile. So what is the meaning of ductile? Means we can easily,
We made it
huh,
to thin sheets easily.
yes, yes, we can easily uh, drawn into a thin wires of a metals. For example, gold. है ना? We can easily make them into a thin wire. For example, we used to wear the jewelry, no? So that's a very good example of a ductility. What about malleability? Malleability means the metals which can be beaten into thin sheets. Okay. Ductility was what? It can be
Wires.
drawn into thin wires.
Malleability is thin sheet.
Malleability is thin sheets, for example, gold and silver. So silver we used to, put in the upper part of a kaju katli, remember? So that's the example of malleability. Means those silvers are beaten into a thin sheets and we can easily put on any sweets. Electrical conductivity means metals are very good conductor of electricity. You know? So this is very obvious. Means the flow of electric current pass from a one metal to another metal. Metal is a good conductor of heat. For example, all the metals are good conductor of heat, but except lead and mercury. You have to note these 2 points. Lead and mercury are the poor conductors of heat. Okay, lead and mercury. Melting and boiling point also is very high of a metal. Sonority means the school bell which we use, which is made up of metals that's a sonorous. Sonorous means sound. Okay. So what is the chemical property of metal? So first you have to remember these points and you have to note it down. All the physical properties of metals. Okay. So the
Yes.
topic which we will cover, so you will go home, make notes, and then after in the next class, I'll check that note first, and then I will start the next topic
Okay.
because it's very important to make notes of all the points. So metallic luster, hardness, ductility, malleability. Any doubt here in the physical property of metal?
No.
Only you have to remember the points and you can easily note it down. And also you have to mention the yeah, here, where was that? In the in the good conductor of heat, except lead and mercury, which is a poor conductor of heat. And here also about the hardness, the lithium, sodium, and potassium are very soft, so this is the exception. Now, what is the chemical? So these are the physical properties. Now we will see what are the chemical properties. So in chemical properties, how many are there? First is reaction of metals with oxygen. Second is here reaction of metals with water. So first was with oxygen, second is with water, and third is with acid. Okay? And fourth is with some metals with the another metal. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, reaction
One.
metals with water, oxygen causes rust, right?
What? Yeah. It causes rusting. We discussed now in the first chapter in the chemical
Yes.
reaction and equation. Yes. So first is what? Chemical property.
The reaction with metals and oxygen.
And what was the second one?
Ma'am, metals and water.
With water.
Yes.
Okay. Third.
Metals and acid
Hmm.
and metals with other metals.
Yes. So first is the reaction of metals with oxygen. So here, what we have to do, the metal will react with oxygen to form a metal oxide. Simple. Okay. Metal and oxygen, metal oxide. For example, aluminium will react with this oxygen and it will form a metal oxide. Now you will make notes like this. You will note down the first point, that reaction of metal with oxygen, and you will note one or two equation. Okay, because you can easily relate. So reaction of metal with oxygen is simple: metal, oxygen, and then metal oxide. Okay, no doubt here,
No.
right? Metals, oxygen, metal oxide, MO, M plus. Now, what is the next one? Here also, copper and oxygen, which is a copper oxide, metal and oxygen, which is your metal oxide, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, combination
And
reaction.
what, Priya?
Combination reaction.
Combination reaction. Yes, very good. And first, let me clear all this. So second is what? Reaction of metal with acids. First was reaction of metal with oxygen. Second is for acids.
Ma'am, this is
Means
third.
when what?
This is the third one.
This is the third one. Maybe this is, because second is not over here, so that will be the second one.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the second. So reaction of metal with acid. Here, this is your metal, zinc is a metal, and zinc is reacting with a dilute HCl, which is an acid. So what it will form? It will form zinc chloride and H2 gas. Simple. Zinc acid. It will combine with Cl, which is a zinc chloride, and hydrogen gas will evolve. This is the second one. Oxygen done, acids done. What is the third one? Third is reaction of metal with a dilute HNO3. Okay, this is for acids. Third is what? With the dilute HNO3. So here the metal will react with the dilute HNO3 to produce what? To form your salt plus, for example, wait, let me read this sentence. So hydrogen gas is not evolved when a metal reacts with a nitric acid. So this is a very, important point, because when a metal is reacting with a dilute acid, what is happening? H2 gas is evolving. है ना? But when the metal will react with the hydrogen, with this HNO3, with a nitric acid, what will happen? Your hydrogen gas will not evolve. Here, as you can see, there's no hydrogen gas. Okay? So why this is happening? Because due to a strong oxidizing nature of a nitric acid. Nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent. The nature of a nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing. That's why the hydrogen gas is not evolving when the metal is reacting with a nitric acid, which is HNO3. So when metal will react with a nitric acid, what it will form? These are the metals N2O, NO, and NO2, because it oxidizes the HA produced water to itself, reduce of any time nitrogen. So here what we will take? We will take these metals N2O we can take, NO we can take, NO2 we can take, but here also there's two exceptional, which is magnesium and manganese. Because what will happen now, if we will react magnesium and manganese with this nitric acid, see what is happening. H2 gas is evolving. But this was not the case with other metals, right?
Yes,
है
ma'am.
ना? So here what we learned about the reaction of metal with acids. So when the metal will react with dilute acid, so what will happen? H2 gas will evolve. And when metals will react with nitric acid, what will happen? H2O gas will not evolve. Why? Because nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent. The nature is very strong. But here exceptional is two cases. First is your manganese and magnesium. So when these two will combine with your nitric acid, which is HNO3, it will evolve this one, hydrogen gas. Now clear? So first what we discussed about, I'm repeating again and again because to make it very clear for you. Okay? So first is with oxygen, means metal plus oxygen. It will form what? Metal oxide.
Dioxide.
For example, copper and oxygen, copper oxide. Okay? Sodium and oxygen, sodium oxide. And now here is what? Reaction of metal with acids. Acids we have to take, means with a dilute, what will happen? H2. And with a nitric acid, there won't be any H2 gases evolving except two metals, magnesium and manganese. Yes. Okay. And this one is what? This is the third one. Okay. This is the third one. The reaction of metal with solutions of other metals. So when the reaction of metal is happening with the solution of the other metal, what is solution? What is the meaning of solution? Huh?
But combining them.
Combining them means when there's a so like here Ag and NO3 means this is a silver nitrate. This is a solution, right? This is not a metal. This is a solution. So when a metal is combining with a solution, what it will form? It will form. See here it's written. When a metal A is combining with a salt solution of B, this is your metal A, which is a copper, which is combining with salt solution of B. This is silver nitrate, which is a salt solution. So what will happen? Your salt solution of A will form, means your Cu will combine with NO3. Now you can see the displacement reaction is happening here, right? Cu is forming with an NO3, which is a copper nitrate, and Ag is over here. Means the salt solution which was there in the reactant side with B, in the product side, what will happen? The salt solution will mix up with the A. Okay? And B will alone. Okay? So this is the reaction of metals with solution of other metals salt. So it is important to note that metal A will combine with a salt solution of metal B. SS is for salt solution. So what will be the product? Product will be the salt solution of metal A and plus metal B. Means this metal, the salt solution of Mb will combine with the Ma, and the Mb, which is already combined with the salt solution in the reactant side, it will be alone in the product side. Got it? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So, till now, what we discussed? We discussed about the physical properties and chemical properties. Okay. So, it is very important to make notes. Please make notes. Okay.
Ready. Should I
Chemi-
send the notes? Like, should I send the notes today or tomorrow?
like if you will send it today, then what will happen now? It will be there in your head that okay, this was the point of this topic, this was the point of this topic. So okay, so today you send. So chemical property is what we discussed. Three parts. First, reaction of metals with what? Shazan. Reaction of metal with what?
Oxygen.
Oh, Shazan will tell. Shazan, please tell me.
Oxygen.
Second was what?
Solution.
Solution. There's no solution. Why are you not focusing?
You told to make notes. I was doing notes.
But not now. You have to make notes. You have to
What
make
have
notes
done?
after the class. Only you can mark the important points. You have to listen to me now. Like, okay, what? Ria, now you tell. Second was what?
Acids.
Yes, acid. Which is
She's one HCl and HNO3.
very good. And HNO3 is what? Here two exceptions was there now. What was that?
Ma'am, magnesium
Huh.
and
Manganese.
manganese.
And here what will happen? H2 gas will evolve.
Yes, ma'am.
And in this case, H2 gas will not evolve. Only these are the two exceptions in which H2 gas will evolve. Okay?
Okay.
And the third part, what we discussed?
Ma'am, metals with other metallic salts.
Yeah.
Metals.
So here the metal of, let's say, A, of the salt solution of the metal B, what will happen? It will get combined with the metal A, the salt solution, and metal B will be alone, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So like this, you have to make notes. Not only this, but you have to write all the points. So physical properties are ductility, malleability, hardness, good conductor, sonorous. Okay? These are the chemical properties. Okay. And the last is,
Water.
this is not, yeah, with water. This is the fourth. Fourth, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, fourth one. So fourth is what? Fourth is with water. Now we will see what is this one. A reaction of metals
Excuse me,
with a
ma'am.
water. Yeah.
Um, After the class, can you send this PDF in the...
Okay, it's already there in the app.
No, ma'am. I want the written, which you have written from the above the diagram.
Okay, I'll send. So the reaction of metals with water is what? Here the metals will react with water to form metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Okay? So metal is reacting with water to form metal oxide and hydrogen gas. For example, let's say potassium. When potassium is combining with water, which is H2O, so what will happen? It will form a metal oxide, means KOH, and hydrogen gas will evolve plus heat. Same example for the sodium. Sodium will combine with water, sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and plus heat. Okay? This is also for calcium, aluminium, iron, all the examples are over here. Okay? With the with the water, calcium oxide, hydrogen, aluminium oxide, and this is a ferrous oxide. So the this part is for the water, and in water, what was there? When the metal will combine with water, what will happen?
Ma'am, metal oxide plus...
Metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. Okay? So metal oxide and plus Hg I'm writing, which is a hydrogen gas. Okay. And these are the chemical properties of a non-metals. But this we will not discuss right now. First, we will again go through with the notes, which is a physical metallic luster, hardness.
Ma'am,
Ductility is what? Huh.
question meaning?
Metallic luster means the metal will have a shiny surface. If you will see gold, silver, platinum, they will have a shiny surface, right? The lustrous will be there, no?
Okay,
So
ma'am.
that's a shiny surface. Hardness, only three exceptions are there. Ductility means which can be drawn into thin wires. For example, gold, which we used to wear in our ear, nose, anywhere. Malleability, for example, kaju katli, which can be beaten into a thin sheet. Electrical conductivity, good conductor of heat. Melting and boiling point is also very high in terms of metals. In non-metal, which is a poor conductor of heat also, as well as metal melting and boiling point is very low in the non-metal. Sonority we discussed. Chemical properties. First, oxygen, which is when metal will react with oxygen, it will form that particular metal and then oxide. Second, what we discussed about the acids. This is the example, copper oxygen, which is a copper oxide. And here, metals with acids, zinc, hydrochloric acid, hydrogen gas will evolve, but when it will combine with a nitric acid, hydrogen gas will not evolve. Only the exceptional cases 2Mn and Mg, which is magnesium and manganese. Here, hydrogen gas will evolve. Okay?
Ma'am, what's royal water?
What?
What's royal water?
Royal water. Royal water is what? The aqua regia is means the Latin word for this particular name is a royal water. Now, what is a royal water? It is a freshly prepared mixture of concentrated HCl and concentrated nitric acid in the ratio of 3:1. So, what is a royal water? It's a freshly prepared mixture of both the acids, hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. And it's a mixture of these two acids with a ratio of 3:1. Means three of your hydrochloric acid and one ratio of your
Excuse me,
nitric acid.
ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, can I explain reactions of metals with dilute HNO3 once again?
Who, me? Okay. Can you explain, Ria?
Ma'am, what?
Ma'am, I didn't get that in that.
Uh-huh.
What am I supposed
The
to explain?
metals with nitric acid. Can you try explain this one? Reaction of metals with dilute HNO3.
Ma'am,
Huh.
when any metal is dissolved in HNO yes, with nitric acid, it forms a salt and nitric oxide and H2O
And
and
why here hydrogen gas is not evolved? Because in the HCl, the hydrogen gas is evolving. You can see over here. But why with the nitric acid, hydrogen gas is not evolved? Yeah.
Ma'am, maybe because it is dilute nitric acid.
Because nitric acid is having a very strong
Strong
Oxidizing nature. But exception is for the two cases. This
magnesium.
one, manganese and magnesium. These two, when will react with the dilute nitric acid, it will form H2, means H2 gas will evolve over here. So that's the difference between other metals and these exceptional cases. So royal water we was discussing. Now, what is a royal water? It's a freshly prepared mixture of the two salts, HCl and this nitric acid with a ratio of 3 is to 1. Okay? So what will happen? It can dissolve gold even though neither of these acids can do so alone. So aqua regia is a highly corrosive fuming liquid. It is one of the few reagents that is able to dissolve gold and platinum. So what is the main functionality of this royal water?
Ma'am, it
Is
can
that
dissolve gold and platinum.
yes, it can dissolve gold and platinum is the main work of a royal water. Okay? So that's why they means in the combination of both they are doing this. Means they can't do alone. So now can you tell me what is a one second. Can you tell me what is a fuming liquid? Anybody?
Ma'am, aqua
Ma'am,
is
it can cause a fire.
Fire.
I'm
Okay.
fuming.
Huh.
It can
Shazan,
burn.
you?
ma'am, you tell. I'm not clear about.
Try. See, here for this royal water, what is the meaning of fuming liquid now? Because it can dissolve both the gold and platinum. Means not all metals, right? Only these two metals. That's why the royal water is known as a fuming liquid because it can dissolve these two platinum. Okay?
Ma'am, what does corrosive mean?
Corrosive means that only, Ria. Corrosion. Corrosive is corrosion. Like when when we used to put the metal in the contact of the air and various other types of gases. So what will happen? The rust will form. No? That
Yes.
is rusting corrosion. Okay.
Okay.
So should I go in the first chapter?
Ma'am, I
Yes.
had a very weird question. Ma'am, if we swallow gold, it won't get digested.
What?
Ma'am, if we swallow gold, previously it said that HCl itself can't dissolve gold. So if we swallow gold, it won't get digested.
It won't get what?
Digested.
If we will swallow gold, gold is like means it won't break down like in the digestion.
Ma'am, it depends on the amount of gold taken.
It depends also in the amount now. How many amount we are taking.
Okay.
Gold doesn't break easily, Ria. Okay?
Okay.
Means gold does not dissolve in our bloodstream. So gold is not absorbed during digestion.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
हाँ,
it is.
tell.
No, I'm saying कि जैसे चांदी का वर्क you know right same
हाँ.
जो है वो गोल्ड का वर्क भी मिलता है so it's like it is already mixed and only a particular amount of gold you can take. If you take large amount, it will not.
It will not digest.
That small amount you can take, and it will be digested in that particular time period. Because for the digestion process, it will require that much time period.
For example, ma'am, when we take kaju katli, what will happen? The silver coating is there in the upper layer, so it's a very small amount and very mixed up
Yes.
component. Huh?
That small amount you can take. But if you take it for prolonged period and more than the dosage that is advised, it will be harmful. Understood? I think that was the conclusion that you had.
Okay, so this is done, and in the next class, what we will learn? We will learn about the chemical properties of non-metal. Okay, we discussed about metals, all the physical and chemical properties. Now we will discuss about the non-metals, and you have to go home and make notes and send it to me.
Ma'am, can you send the PDF in the group?
I will send. Okay, then. Thank you.